You are about to see the one metric to rule them all. In fact, if you just alter this metric in your Facebook ad account and ignore everything else, you are going to see plummeting ad costs and much, much higher ROIs on your ads. No hyperbole. This works nearly every single time I do it. Any person I show it to, it works for them as well. And this right here is perfect for you if you look at your ad accounts and you see all the stats like CPC and CPM and BPM and RPG, as well as DPS. You got to have high DPS in your Facebook accounts, okay? That way you can get sweet loot by killing the raid bosses. The nerds got that joke. Anyways, you probably look at all the stats in your ad managers and you're like, whoa, CPC went up or CPM went up and I don't know what's going on and everything skyrocketed or went this way. This is the fix to all of that and will allow you to get your CPC, CPM, everything at dirt cheap levels, and it will just be easy for you to do. So instead of talking this up anymore, let me just show you. And by the way, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. I release these videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on this ad channel, unlike other ad channels, I don't teach you 1/4 of what I do and then sell you a course. I have no course to sell you. I want you to grow your business and make more money so that you buy Hyros, my ad tracking company, to make you more money. And the best way for me to get you to buy Hyros so you can make more money with Hyros is simply just give you everything I know. Because then you'll buy Hyros and even upgrade your account because you're making so much more money from the ad tactics I give you, like this one right here. Okay guys, let's just get going. And I guarantee again, if you apply what I'm going to show you in this video, you're going to see such better metrics and get all the things you're looking to achieve. Cheaper clicks, cheaper CPMs, dramatically reduce your ad costs. This works nearly every single time, and that's not me being hyperbolic. When I help people in my mastermind do this and they stop thinking like I'm about to show you, it nearly always works. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. What I'm looking at right here is usually the #1 sign that a media buyer is about to get really, really lost. Don't get me wrong. This is actually a spreadsheet that I'm pretty sure this media buyer captured from one of my friends, Sam Ovens. Now, Sam Ovens and his team are like literal data scientists, so this stuff can actually work for them. I never use it, but I know it's helped him. The thing is, what most people do when they're buying Facebook ads is, for example, Sam's business, which uses this, is like a $20 million per year business. People that are making $100,000, $200,000, less than $1 million a year, even less than $5 million per year, they'll go in and they'll start adopting this type of data scientist strategy. And what happens is they end up trying to control all these little metrics right here. And I want to tell you something about these metrics. You can't control any of them directly. Your CPC is controlled by Facebook. Your ad spend, your impressions, your CPM. These are all indicators of something else that is you can't actually control. For example, if you want to control the speed you're going on your car, you don't look at the mile per hour. You don't look at the RPMs. You don't look at the battery. You just look at your gas pedal and you press down. And the thing you need to focus on if you want to make the car go faster is not the readings, aka the mile per hour, the RPMs, etc. You want to actually focus on how hard you're pressing down on the gas pedal. I know that doesn't make much sense, so let me explain this. If you look at my ads, I've clearly identified the gas pedal, and that is going to be my CPL, my cost per call, and my ROI. If you go and look at my ad accounts, the only columns I really ever have showing are these things. I will occasionally look at these stats that I'm mentioning right here when something has gone terribly wrong, but these stats still don't help. I usually use this to look for glitches or something that's broken, okay? For example, if my CPC skyrockets or something like that, I haven't literally looked at these things though in years. So again, I don't even want to use that example. But why, Alex? Why do you only look at these things? Shouldn't you be looking at all these things and trying to microbid and optimize? Here's what you need to understand. Let's just look at a simple metric like CPL. Now, you have to break down what actually leads to your key metrics and then what actually controls things like CPC and CPM. There's all sorts of other crazy stats that people look at. I'm just going to focus on those two because they're just the easiest to explain. Okay, and if you're new, CPC is cost per click. CPM is the cost per how many 1,000 impressions you're getting. So if Facebook shows your ad to 1,000 people and you pay $21 for that, that's your CPM. But you have to understand, CPL is a reflection of metrics that are then also reflections of your CPC and CPM. So CPL is the top level metric. And by focusing on that, the thing that controls your CPL is actually going to be your ad click-through rate, your ad engagement, and going to be your opt-in rate at that point. All right, there's many other ones out there, but for example, your ad click-through rate is going to be controlled, and your ad engagement is going to be controlled by two things. Actually, one thing: how engaging your damn ad is. Okay. And these two things are, first off, how many people watch your ad and how many people click your ad. You're probably thinking, no duh, obviously, Alex. But what you need to understand right here is that if you want to get a low CPL, what we're going to focus on instead is not going and altering the ad click-through rate and the engagement. We're going to focus on lowering the CPL by focusing on the thing that controls all of this, the ad itself. Okay? I don't ever look at these metrics right here. What I'm going to look at is I'm going to go upload an ad, and I'm going to look at which one gets the lowest CPL across the same opt-in page. Now follow along with me right here. If the CPL is lower, automatically that means the ad click-through rate and the ad engagement are better every single time, because I know that in the sub of this, an ad that has a high ad click-through rate and a high ad engagement also has a lower CPC, and thus, because of the engagement, has a lower CPM. But again, I'm not looking at these right here. I'm going to only look at the CPL. Because, again, the CPL is a symptom of these things. And these things are a symptom of these things. And so what you can do is you can cut out all of these charts right here. You can cut out all this excessive data that's going to confuse you and lead you to an action, and you can just focus on one metric, the CPL. Because as you focus on the CPL, let's imagine we haven't optimized the opt-in page or sales page or the Shopify e-com landing page that they're landing on, or the call funnel. Okay, let's imagine we haven't optimized that yet. Your CPL is naturally going to tell you the ad that has the best ad click-through rate and the best engagement, and thus the best CPC and CPM. And by focusing only on CPL, you're moving all these things in the direction you want to anyways. So instead of that, I'm going to upload 5 ads, and I'm just going to look purely at the CPL. The one with the CPL, I can guarantee you 99% of the time is going to have the best metrics. That's it. And so then what I'm going to do to reduce CPL is focus on the overall thing, which is the ad itself. And the ad itself is actually controlled by how many people watch it and how it speaks to them. And so I'm going to focus on the ad message, not the metrics at all. I'm going to focus on what message I see. So if I have 5 ads and they all 5 say something a little bit different, I'm going to look at the one that gets the best CPL, thus gets the best of these things. I'm not going to repeat them anymore. And then what I'm going to say is, oh, that message is what people respond to. And then I'm going to make 5 more ads around that message. And then see which one of those ones people respond to the most. I'm going to say, oh, okay, this message out of the 5 out of this message gets the most powerful response. And that's how I'm going to go out there. So instead of actually even focusing on the CPL, I focus on the ad message. And this is how you drive all these to the floor. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and apply this ad message to the opt-in and then try 5 or 6 different opt-ins that have a different version of this message right here. And so then I'm going to get the opt-in rate. So let's imagine right here, we started off with a CPL of, let's say, $15. Okay, and this $15 CPL is actually your ad click-through rate, engagement, all these things right here contributing to this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to focus on the ad messages and get this CPL down to, let's say, $9 by focusing only on the ad message, not the opt-in page yet. If the opt-in page, let's imagine it has a 10% opt-in rate right here, all right, a 10% conversion rate, 10% something, okay, whatever we're trying to do, get calls or whatnot. So I'm going to use purely my ad messaging and using the CPL to tell me which ad is the best message, ignoring these other stats. So once I get this down to $9, what I'm going to say is, all right, that looks really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get this opt-in up to 30 or 40%, or increase my conversion rates on the page by 3 to 4x, which is very, very, very doable on your first version of anything. Your first version is usually going to have so much room to be optimized. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to again just look at the CPL, and I'm going to try and get the CPL down to $3 by purely focusing on the opt-in. And that right there is going to in turn make my business significantly more profitable. If I take my CPL from $15 or my cost per any acquisition I'm looking for from $15 to $3, my business just 5x'd in profitability-ish, all right? And if I'm off a little bit there, it's just because I don't do math in these videos. That's not my strong suit. Getting ad messages is. This right here is by far the best way to improve your ads versus this excessive overanalyzation. This is something that your mind can understand right here. I can easily focus on CPL, and I can easily focus on the message of the ad. I can control that and think about it super clearly. I cannot look at this chart and make clear, simple decisions. And this is what most media buyers do. They come into this and they try to do it like the stock market, okay? Where you look at all these metrics and whatnot, all the billion things that are going on and try to make a call. But the thing is, the stock market is not under your control. The cryptocurrency market is not under your control. So you need to sometimes do all this overanalyzation. Okay, in theory, I guess. Your ads are literally under your control, so you don't need to do this. You can literally just go in and focus on one key metric. Now, the last thing I want to focus on is I always like to look at the upfront metrics. So that's going to be your cost per call, cost per lead. Cost per call is CPC that I'm referring to right here, or CPA, so cost per sale or something if you're doing e-com. Okay. But these aren't always the best thing to look at, especially cost per call and cost per lead, because the main thing is actually ROI. We want to get these things as low as possible to tell us to basically control the ad metrics. So these things right here are going to control all these metrics that we're looking at right here. Okay, they're going to be symptoms of all these metrics at least. The ROI at the end of the day, though, is the #1 most important thing. And I want to show you this by looking at the stats right here from just Hyros and Google Ads. Okay, you can see right here the cost per call on these right here is actually really good. This one is great. $49 cost per call. I can come in, verify, look at the stats in Hyros, see exactly who's booking calls and who's coming in. So the cost per call is looking amazing on both of these actually. $200 cost per call is amazing. But you can see if I optimize for cost per call, this is a weird instance right here where the cost per call also lines up with the profit. But you can see that these calls right here didn't generate me a profit. These ones did. This is actually tracking that's impossible to do in Google Ads because these are being closed over the phone, and I'm tracking this with Hyros. Again, I hate to show Hyros in these videos. Actually, I don't. It will just improve your business immensely, and the point of these videos is to help your business so much that you're eventually going to be like, I'd like to improve it more with Hyros. We literally guarantee you'll get these results and be able to grow your ads and you don't pay for it. So I have no problem showing it to you because, frankly, it just works. But tying into this lesson right here, if you are optimizing just around CPL or CPC and not around profits, what happens all the time is people look at everything except their profits, and then what they do is they go and scale up ads that are actually unprofitable in ROI terms, but they look amazing in CPL and CPC. This is chronic, so don't do that as well. This is a lesson for today, guys. To wrap it all up, what you want to do is you want to understand that your CPL or your main metrics are symptoms of all these other metrics. But if you focus on the symptom, it's not like the doctor's office right here, which is usually going to then be controlled by your ad messaging. And in your landing page, we want to focus on the messaging first because the landing page can artificially drive this up and down. Focus on the messaging first because that will then control this, and this will thus control every other stat. Okay? Or will we be a reflection of every other stat? And if we just keep our minds simple, focus on the ad message to lower CPL, this will lower everything else, and then once we've lowered CPL enough without focusing on the landing page or funnel, then we focus on the landing page and funnel to lower it even more to get our ads to massive profitability. This is the best way to do this. And my Iron Mastermind, whenever students stop doing this, okay, and again, I'm not hating on this. For example, my friend Sam Ovens, I have massive respect for him, he's a genius. I have not seen this work for many people. It might work for people in his mastermind or whatnot. I usually see people get way better results in my mastermind by doing this. Okay? So it depends on who you are and maybe what you want to look at, but 9 out of 10 times, simplifying everything to a point where your mind can easily get it is going to deliver better results for you. Speaking of which, check out the links in the description right here. You could book a call with me. You can literally see the results I've gotten, 6, 7, and 8-figure results by moving their business to YouTube and improving their Facebook ads. You can go check that out, book a call with me. I'll tell you exactly how to do it for your business as well. You could even join the mastermind if you're a good fit. That being said, in these videos, this is the lesson for today. I share everything I know in these videos because frankly, I want you to grow your business to the point where you need Hyros. So I don't hold anything back. I don't have anything subtle to sell you here. And that's why you should subscribe, because I release videos like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you'll see them when they go live, and it'll be super cool. Because again, this is the only channel where I'm just going to tell you everything I do instead of telling you like 3/4 of what I do or 1/5 of what I do and then selling you a course. I don't have a course to sell you. I just want your business to grow, so you buy Hyros. So subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.